Hey guys, this is Brandon with Investment Joy, and I'm here with Mr. Sam Kwok.
What's up, everybody?
We are walking down one of the least safe streets in southern Ohio. I say it's unsafe because we've had people literally disappear. If you get on Google and type in the missing women of southern Ohio, you would find that people have disappeared on this street. So here I am with my good friend. We're walking down. If you like this kind of content, please do me a favor, like and subscribe. There will also be a link in the description to Sam's channel. And he's a big seller, finance, real estate guy. Kind of does deals similar to I do. He's got a lot of neat information. So we're walking down this street where I happen to own 21 rentals. And I want to talk to you guys and have this conversation with Sam about real estate investment. I've talked to people in government, in city, and there's this huge problem in the United States with affordable housing. There's a huge problem, at least in southern Ohio, with drugs. We are in one of the worst heroin capitals of the United States, where 1 week last year we had 25, weekend we had 25 overdoses. So reading through comments on YouTube and stuff like that, there's this real big, to a part it's misconception, but to another part it's the reality. You know, I remember when our family got evicted both times, my parents weren't really happy with the real estate investor that owned our property. Now that I'm in real estate, I find that the reality of everything's a little bit different. And I feel like, great news guys, this video is sponsored by Current. I don't know if you've heard about Current, but they are this totally awesome mobile banking solution to where you can get this awesome debit Visa card and there's no fees. There's no overdrafts. They're totally transparent. You can use your cell phone to make payments, to take payments. And if you want to, you can upgrade to a premium version that's only like $4.95 or $4.99 a month. It's really cheap, and they will actually help you get paid 2 days faster when you switch to their direct deposit deal. So if you normally get paid on Friday, they'll pay you on Wednesday. And maybe if you're in that payday loan trap, you can avoid it with this because there's no fees other than the $4.99 a month. It's totally awesome, and I would absolutely recommend that you get this cool black card. The basic account's free, and it is so slick. They've got this mobile app, and it's easy to use. You can connect Venmo and even your Cash App to it. And with our rental business, we use Cash App a lot. And just having this type of mobile solution on your phone, so easy to sign up. So hit the download link below and get started today, guys. Seriously, do it. And you answer this honestly. Do you feel like you are a benefit to the world or a detriment?
Well, I mean, what's the alternative, right? I mean, who's going to offer housing? I mean, there's always that option of the government, offering housing, but I know how that plays out. I'm from South Korea, right? So, our counterpart brothers, which they're in North Korea, their housing is run by the government. And they don't look that great. I mean, they're 5-star hotels in an empty building made out of concrete. So, I mean, that's why I believe in a well-tailored society, well-mannered society, investors are probably the best options for offering housing. Are there bad actors that give us the bad name? Sure. Right, but there's also equally great guys like Brandon that offer housing, high quality, that care for people, and I think it's just the small percentage of the investors that make it bad for everybody.
Mm-hmm. So if we would look at these places over here, my friend owns 2 of those. He just purchased this one. Yeah. They just redid the porches on them. If you get on my channel and scroll through some of my really old content, you'll find I talk about an elderly man named Gary. He was one of the biggest real estate agents or real estate investors in this part of the state. He gave all of his investments to his son. The son ran them down. They became extremely unprofitable, turned a $12,000 a month business into a $0 a month business. And unfortunately, in a place like those, as they become less profitable, the quality of life starts to go down. Watch the curb.
Yep, there's a little.
Watch out.
Yep, there you go. Make sure our camera guy doesn't die today.
The quality of life for the tenant starts to go down severely. I want you to look at this. We call this locally the 505 Boys House. 505 boys are I guess you'd call them a gang, but they're not really. I don't know. I call them
Disorganized.
the local apple dumpling gang because that's what they come off to me. And, you know, look at how nice this house is.
Looks like the White House.
Look at this. The structure is unfit for human occupancy, yet I'll tell you, last night people were in there.
Yeah.
The homeless are in there. All the copper's been stripped out.
Yep.
The city's trying to have that taken down. And the investor, do you think he's profitable or unprofitable?
Zero profitable,
He's
right?
very unprofitable. He owns 20 or 30 rentals in this area. So the person that owns that's not very profitable with his rentals, and the quality of life for his tenants goes down.
Right.
And as time goes on, I would hope that my YouTube channel, and any investment YouTube channel, whether your channel or somebody else, Bigger Pockets, whoever's out there, people would realize that investors bring value to a community.
Right.
Investors provide benefit.
Yep.
But investors also have to be profitable.
Right.
We sometimes get wrapped up, or people get wrapped up in, oh, this investor is making too much money. The investor's doing something nefarious.
Yeah.
We're walking by a house where I had a complaint. Someone called me and they said, I don't like you, Brandon. And I said, well, why don't you like me? Because your tenants are mean to me. I said, well, what do you mean by your tenants are mean to you? They threw a bowl of chili at me.
Oh, yeah.
Hi,
Howdy.
how are you?
You're still safe.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right, cool. Uh-huh. So they didn't like me because one of my tenants, they said that one of my tenants threw a bowl of chili at their kids.
Wow.
And I said, you really don't like me over that? No, because you rent a house to them. And it's just these kinds of conversations that I have with people. And as you sit down and explain people and you walk through the process of why I'm in real estate, why I'm trying to be profitable, it brings value to a community. Right. Even this one, I got real excited because as we walk over here, we'll walk by a place and I've never met the person before, but they're an investor. They own a couple of these houses over here and they're a sub to my YouTube channel.
Nice.
And they said, oh, I've always wanted to meet you. You're the guy that owns the property at blah, 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 blah street here in town. And I'm so happy that you fixed that place up. Somebody I've never met.
Right.
And those give me the warm fuzzies as I hear people. And there's this contrast. Get a look at that gym over there.
Yeah.
There's another unprofitable investor. I meet so many nice, well-meaning investors, and they lose sight of the need for profit.
Yeah. Well, it's the balance. I mean, some of you guys may have seen this or read this book.
We're headed down this way.
Okay, this way. So there's a book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen R. Covey, and it talks about the goose that lays golden egg. I don't know if you're familiar with the story, but Farmer Joe has a goose, finds out the goose lays golden egg, and each day there's a golden egg every time he goes to check out the goose. Well, the Farmer Joe's like, I want all the eggs, right? I'm like, I want the eggs now. So goes and kills the goose, finds out there's no golden eggs anymore, right? So it's the whole idea of you can't keep on beating out what's gonna ultimately give you profit. You have to take care of the goose. And here in my example, the goose is real estate, right? You got to take care of real estate. You got to take care of your tenants. You got to take care of the quality, right? And of course, still profit. Yep, that's important.
So it's one of those things. That's the reason I wanted to do this video and walk and talk with you, was because we have this epidemic, this drug epidemic, this epidemic of housing, all these problems, and everybody, I've like I said, I've seen government employees and government people say, "Oh man, we need to fix it." They can't fix it.
Yeah.
You and I can fix it.
Investors.
And yet, while we go about fixing the problem, while we go about making life better for our tenants, fixing things in the pursuit of profit and building an effective and efficient business, there's so many misconceptions in it that we're trying to take advantage of people, that what we're doing. And it's why I love YouTube. It's why I love having a YouTube channel. I'm sure you love having a YouTube channel and putting out content, because I can show the world the way that I view things.
Yeah.
And obviously not everybody's going to agree with it, but it's always interesting to me to finally meet some people and to talk to some people, and they can see things from my
Right.
my perspective, because I feel like the only thing that's going to fix all these societal problems other than investors is having honest conversations. That's why I'm such a fan of the Joe Rogan style podcast as compared to 30-second audio clips.
Right.
Can you imagine if everything you did in life had to fit in a 30-second video segment or 30-second audio clip? Nothing would get done.
Yeah.
But we live in a society where all this media is consumed at such a fast pace.
Right.
You know, that's why I do clickbait. I love clickbait. That's why you should like and subscribe. I love clickbait because it gets people's attention.
Right.
And there's a couple channels that have said, we're not going to do clickbait. And, you know, I've made the statement to quite a few people, you know, no one will ever watch them.
Yeah.
It's kind of scary. You gotta give people a big reason to want to listen to you, to believe you, to look at your content, and then in the back of your mind, you know, what's your long-term goal? Is it making life better for people, or is it making?
Yeah.
And the conversation that we had just before the video started, how he's wanting to work with a group to make life better for a lot of people in Africa.
Yep.
And that's a conversation that we can, I'm sure we will have later, at some point.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know,
that's for sale for $29,000.
oh yeah, that's cool.
220 North Sugar right there.
That's someone called me about that. I'm trying to think of who owns that one.
Yeah.
Shoot.
So, and let me ask you this, because you know, areas like this, I'm not like foreign to it, right? Is this considered an opportunity zone, like this particular area, or?
This specific street is not considered an opportunity zone.
Oh,
we go one block that way and it starts.
Okay.
My laundromat over there next to the 200-unit government-run apartment complex.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
Okay.
there's a
That's what I
government-run
saw
apartment complex over it. It is not an opportunity zone.
Okay.
2 blocks east of it is.
Okay.
2 blocks south of us starts the opportunity zone.
Okay.
60% of this town is an opportunity zone, but for some reason, a lot of my rentals aren't. The geographic areas are weird, and it's defined by census district.
I see. So they probably looked at the map, like, hey, Brandon owns all these rentals here. We're going to avoid those.
From my understanding, the way they do the census data, we have a company called Kenworth, and they make diesel trucks. Kenworth trucks. They own Peterbilt and a couple other big diesel truck manufacturers. This census district is tied in with the big giant plant over there. So when they look at jobs and revenue and things like that, they it gets bundled together.
So there's a little bit of special interest there.
Well, it's just the weird thing of census districts. It's just kind of an odd thing.
Gotcha.
So, as we walk and talk and showcase this area, you know, I thought it'd be pretty good to do that. So, be sure to watch Sam's channel. Once again, in the description, he's got lots of great content. This is Brandon with Investment Joy. Thank you guys for watching.